1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys, how's your day going so far? Good? Oh, good, I'm happy. I wish mine was going a little better. I am getting blocked, like left, right, sideways. Man, I'm even getting it from the back. I can't get a video posted today. I don't know what it is. I mean, I never have problems. I mean, even when I do copyright, I always do copyrighted music. You guys know that. But I know how to get around the copyrights. And even when I, oh, this one song, I did it 3 different ways from Sunday, and each time I got blocked. So I just said, you know what? Screw you. I'm not going to do your song, which is going to cost me a lot of views because I think I'm now up to over 8,000 views on their last song that I did of theirs. Anyway, whatever. I'm doing this song special. This is for um, Grandma Gone Gaming. I'm just going to call her Graham. Okay? If that's okay with you, Graham, if it's not okay, I'll call you Gigi. I'll call you whatever you want me to call you, but that's a really long name. But anyway, this one's going out to you because you and I share a similar idea about not only songs that have been covered, but movies that, by the way, To Kill a Mockingbird is one of my all time favorite books. I'm an avid reader. Like, I, if it's a book that, like, I love, I am, I'm stupid about it. I will sit there and stay up day and night. I'll finish that book like that. If it's a small book, like maybe, I don't know, 600 pages. I'll finish it in a day. But I mean, I am like, I'm a readaholic, I guess. Anyway, so To Kill a Mockingbird, one of my favorite books. The original To Killing Mockingbird movie, I believe it um, was it with Cary Grant? I'm trying to picture. I have a picture of all the actors in my head, but I absolutely loved the original movie. But I'm an old time movie buff. I know. You guys are like, she's such a friggin' dork. I'm actually not. I was one of the cool kids, okay? And I don't mean cool kids like my sister. Like, my sister was a mean girl. Like, the movie Mean Girls was made about my sister. I was like, I had friends in all the different groups. Yes, even the stoners. Don't judge. But, yeah, so I kind of like hid my nerdy side from everybody. But yes, I'm a techie. I love to read. I I'm I love to do like logic problems, any type of. My dad, even to this day, he always gives me like I always get an ex. There's always an extra gift under the Christmas tree, and it was to me from my dad, and it was puzzle books, whether it be logic problems, um, crosswords. Actually, he got me this really cool. I'd show it to you, but I have to move the whole camera. It looks like a chessboard almost, and then it's got like the drawers on either side that you can pull out. It's beautiful. It's made of cherry, and I think the top is probably, I don't know, maple or something. But the top of it, all the squares are like cut into their little indented. It's actually a Sudoku board. It's like the coolest thing. Anyway, I digress. But I told you in the comments that I have a song that's a cover that I'm gonna play for you today. I didn't even tell you what it was. That you know, I know that you know the original song. Why? don't get me wrong, your age, because people of a certain age, meaning not anyone who's not a millennial. Okay, so anyone who was born, probably I was born in 1970. So anyone that was born, yeah, in like 1980 and down knows this song. Okay, because it's not. I mean, this song came out in the 60s anyway, the original, but the remake came out 6 years ago or so, and it is stupendous. It is gorgeous. It is wonderful. And you know what's funny about it is that the group that does it is actually my generation. The original song was my mother's generation. The group that remade it was my generation, and it was already one of my all-time favorite bands. And I was shocked to hear that they were doing this song because the two versions are so totally different. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to let you listen to it. So, Grandma Gone Gaming, this one's for you, and we'll talk about it after you hear the song. Let's get it.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words and I might teach you. Take my arms and I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops,
So, okay, so the band is called Disturbed. They are, for those of you guys who don't know, and for Gigi, who might not know, the band's name is Disturbed. The lead singer, who was the guy's face that you kept seeing, his name is David. He has a spectacular voice. It's something like 5 octaves. I mean, it's amazing how beautiful this man's voice is. But they are a heavy metal rock band. Um, a lot of people know them from Down with the Sickness, The Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence, which, if you're familiar with it all, it's just a really melancholy song. And the history of it is the two of them were just sitting in Central Park, and people were just passing by them and stuff like that, and they just wrote this song, and they actually, shortly after the song was written, they broke up as a group, as a duo. They broke up. They were no longer playing together. And then the movie The Graduate was being made. I don't know, a couple years later, maybe a year later, and they wanted to use that song in the movie. The two of them got really widely known because before they were just kind of like, they were singer-songwriters, but they weren't like really famous or popular or anything. They weren't making a ton of money. Basically, when this song came out, you could throw a penny out the window and hit a singer-songwriter. They were everywhere, okay? Everyone was a singer-songwriter back then. And also you got to remember, back then, most singer-songwriters were, all they were, I'm sorry, I did all this on my, if you watch some of my older videos, we covered the 60s and 70s and the history of it and some of the artists, but I'm just doing a quick recap, okay? In the 60s, especially during the Vietnam War, when there were protesters and stuff like that, all these singer-songwriters were popping up and just doing music and everything because, it was cool. It was flower power. It was LSD. Everyone was it was either doing drugs, having sex, or doing music, or sometimes all three at the same time. I mean, it's true. I was born out of it. So was my sister, and I know my sister, like, for the first 3 years of her life, ran around with no clothes on. My mom would put her clothes on her, and then she would promptly take them off, and my mom would put them on her again. And she would take them off and go and bury them in the bushes so my mom couldn't find them. So then my mom had to take to safety pinning her clothes on her so she couldn't get them off. Sorry about that. A lot of the singer-songwriters back then were not singers, by the way. They were poets. And back then they had these poetry jams and shit where that's how Bob Dylan became a singer. Bob Dylan is a brilliant songwriter. He's a brilliant poet. He sucks as a singer. Bring it on, haters. It's the truth, and it's a historical fact. Check on it. And anyway, back to this. So anyway, The Graduate was a super successful movie, which made The Sound of Silence a super successful song. Before then, no one gave a shit about it. And what ended up happening was, because it was so successful, everybody wanted to see Simon and Garfunkel. They wanted an album from them. And they ended up getting back together as a group. And they were successful for quite a few years, and then of course they broke up again because for all the same reasons that they did before. And Paul Simon went on to have a very successful solo career. The Sound of Silence. It was written in a way that was just monotone. There was no ups in it. There were no downs in it. It was just written in one level, monotone throughout the whole song. And it was just a very melancholy, sad song that was just kind of like, and it really kind of reflects where they were in their partnership, because they were about to break up, or they knew they were breaking up, and they just kind of put out this song. There's no dynamics to the song. I mean, it's a nice song, and a lot of people know it, but that's what makes the cover to the song so much better, because he puts all the inflections and emotions into the song that should have been there to begin with. Because basically, he's saying, look, we're not communicating. People aren't communicating. I think it's really cool, the graphics too, where he's got like, all these people are like, oh, they foresee the future, that people are the cell phones, or those are the neon gods, blah, blah, blah. Do you really think that Simon and Garfunkel really envisioned us having cell phones this small in our hands that we were all going to be looking at all day long? No. When they said praying to the neon gods they made. Now from Central Park, what can you see? You can see Times Square. You can see that mountainous amount of neon signs from Times Square. Sure as shit you can. And if you're a struggling musician at that time, and all you can see is all the Broadway lights and all that neon shit coming up out of Times Square, when you're sitting in Central Park and you're probably starving, you probably live like in a 1-bedroom apartment with 14 other people in Greenwich Village, and yeah, that's your neon god that you pray to, because all your other friends are struggling artists as well. And who are they praying to? They're praying to all of those Broadway signs for all those musicals and everything else. All those people who have already made it. The words of the prophets are written on the subway trains and tenement halls. Have you ever been in a New York subway? Have you ever been in any subway? The Boston T, the Washington D Metro, everyone's got their own name for it. But yeah, some of the best sayings that I've ever heard, or the most wisdom I've ever heard, is in a friggin' stall in a fucking airport toilet or something. It's just crazy. Now it's tattoos. Just friggin' start reading people's bodies. I'm just saying, people are putting all these connotations on, like, oh, it was prophecy. No, it wasn't. They were writing about their place in time and stuff. But it does make the cover cool, too, because it means that this song has transcended decades, and now it's just as powerful, if not more powerful now than it was when it was originally written. However, it was still just as powerful then. It was just because of the presentation and the way that they wrote the song in just this one note kind of way. There was no spark to it. There was no, oh my gosh. See what I'm saying? What I'm getting at? Okay. Anyway, I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed it. GG. I really hope you liked it. If you didn't, what did I say to you? Write your comments. Honest comments down in the comment section. Let's pray to the neon gods they made that this does not get blocked. You guys have an awesome day. And please don't forget to comment, like, and No, wrong one. Subscribe. Oh, and what else? Damn straight. Take care of each other because no one else is going to. Ciao.